go on the other side of it. If you go into the teaching thing, maybe it will take a front row there, because there I need to know a lot of data. There I need to know which student is lagging in which concept, right? If I put an assessment there, if I can get a personalized, intervention at a student level, then as a professor, it becomes a big asset for me, right?
Right.
Then it is not secondary, it's primary for me.
Correct.
Go to an administrator, who is running an institute. What's my fee collection ratio? What is my student dropout rate? How is my students, admission patterns coming in? Look at digital marketing and how many students came into my portal but did not register or sign up for a course. Those are again Gemini first. Those are AI first, things, because
Right.
that is very valuable and useful for an administrator to run the institute in a much more proper way. So it is all use case dependent. Our suggestion is that these tools are there. For students, obviously, it should be kind of a backup for them. For administrator and for teachers, it can definitely be a game changer on doing a lot of stuff which they continue to do manually these days.
Yeah, because over the past many years, I've been engaged with IITs and IIMs as well. So the professors there, they have that level of depth in all the concepts and all. And recently, I was interacting with some of the IITs professors. They have been using Gemini and all these tools and utilizing it for the benefit of the re-architecture of their curriculums. And as you rightly said, getting the visibility about students, so who is not able to understand which particular concept, that kind of a customized individual level visibility is helping them a lot. Yeah, you're spot on.
Absolutely. And and these professors, the IIT professors, and I interact with a lot of them also, they are the ones who are also very innovative to come and tell what do they want this Gemini to do. See, one is you become a slave of a tool, right? Or one, you become a master of the tool. So when you know that how can I use the tool to the best benefit of what I want, I think you will be fine, because the productivity that you will get out of it will be phenomenal, right? Rather than being, okay, I'm being just lazy and okay, I don't want to create a question paper, so I'm just using a tool to create a question paper, right? Today, we have seen lesson plans that can be segregated by difficulty levels.
Correct.
Right? They can be different for different students. I remember when I used to, prepare for competitive exams, there used to be set A, set B, set C, right? Today, I think there can be set 1, 2 to 60. For
Correct.
60 students, you can have 60 question
Absolutely.
papers. And it's not a question of how you do it. It's a question whether you want to do it or not, right? Whether you want to give 60 different question papers to 60 students in the class, right? But it's possible. If a teacher feels that, okay, I've got 60 students who have different levels of understanding, and I want to create, let's not go to 60, even 10 sets of question paper. With just a click of a button, they can just upload, the subject, and we can create, a question paper out of it. And I'm not talking about creating question paper from the web or the internet at large. I'm talking about guardrailing a question paper to the point, to the T, where you want to guardrail the content about, right?
Correct.